Link engaged.
Visit us at TeamSpeak.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final arena for this epic conflict. It's Terran versus Terran like you've never seen before. From two teammates from Korea, I bring you Hack in the blue trunks. He is playing Terran to the east of the Shattered Temple versus his opponent. He's playing in red! What a wonderful, wonderful thing. Thank you, NEXIceCream. You have any idea how hard it is to spot drops and things like that when you both play the same color? Good God, thank you very much. NEXIceCream. I'm rooting for NEXIceCream right now. I'm going to be biased this entire encounter.
Really? And actually, I would have never, ever predicted these two guys to be in this finals. I mean, looking at the playlist, we had players like Grubby signed up, Nurchio, these are the foreign players, Dystar, DDE, Stray Life, and Virus Underdog 2. Great list of players, and then throughout you could even say it was a ZenX house tournament. We had so many players from ZenX. We had Zero, great player. We had one who's still in it now. We had Young, Naya, and obviously Line, and a great list of players. And surprisingly, these two come all the way through, really showing their up-and-coming skills, and hopefully maybe to be able to display if they qualify for the GSL. Have to see their future. They definitely sure to follow these guys in the future.
Oh yeah.
And we'll have to see, because they are proving to show some really entertaining games, really showing how TVT is played at the highest level in Korea in that ZenX house. It's like training games.
It's terrifying. It's like a trial by fire if you happen to go in there and learn TVT. I don't think Proxy Battlecruiser would really work so well in this environment. That upsets me, honestly. I don't think I'd like it there, to be honest. Yes, the ZenX Invitational, by the looks of it, we're having going on right now. Oh, wow. It has been quite the series, and these guys are giving it their all and providing some astonishingly entertaining Terran versus Terran action. It's now 2 apiece in this best of 5 series, and we see the opening mirror builds from both. Needless to say, no big surprises there. And as you were saying, this is a really hard matchup to actually cast because it is very strategic. It can go any way whatsoever. But regardless, I'm going to toss it out to you anyway. What would your prediction be for this one?
I think it's going to be an aggressive game just because it's close by air. A lot of drops are going to come in, just like we saw in Metalopolis. A lot of lifting up action because by ground it's quite close to actually pop up and down the cliffs and go into your opponent's base. So we'll have to see how it goes down, but we are actually seeing double gas from NEXIceCream now before the refractory, so it looks like we will be seeing some kind of Cloak Banshee opening, and I like Cloak Banshee openings, or not just, Cloak Banshee. I was going to say maybe just Banshee, but Cloak Banshee is probably the better, because you're going to force turrets, you're going to force scans, you're going to force marines, you're going to force stims, and as long as you force all those, you're going to get such a good lead, and then you can go ahead and continue with your game plan from there. And it looks like the factory is actually, it looks like it's going to be maybe fast Hellion switch up? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
All of these are a possibility. I mean, the double gas is interesting, honestly, because you don't necessarily need to take that double gas to get the fast Hellion right there, especially if you're not going for the Infernal Pre-Ignited, but you've got the reactor coming up right there. This is intriguing play by NEXIceCream. I'm interested to see what he actually decides to go for.
I don't know. It could be anything. It could be a Hellion drop. It could be a lot of Marines followed by a fast siege mode. So we'll have to see what it is. Yeah, it's going to be a switch up. So it looks like we're going to see maybe a fast Hellion drop. It depends on if he throws down a starport soon. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, he's suddenly got the gas for it. I mean, he's got a ton of gas. That's something to really consider right there. And you think maybe he's going to go Infernal Pre-Ignited, but of course he doesn't have another factory for that. There's the starport to follow that one up. And there's a tech lab going down right here on the barracks.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that does develop. But meanwhile, we are having a lot of Marines moving out in the map now. And for Hack here, how much damage will we be able to do? He hasn't really started too much, just has one Hellion, does have a starport too, quite close to the edge, so interesting builds by both two players here.
Yeah, he was able to clean up those Marines quite nicely, as we saw, and Hack looking for some aggression, and he does bring an SCV along with it for the party. So we could be seeing a bunker right in the base of NEXIceCream right now, and regardless, if he's not careful, he's going to end up losing that supply depot. A quick defense right there for the Hellion, but that's Hellion on Hellion action. That supply depot will go down, needless to say, and that's the supply block, but only briefly, and NEXIceCream is able to push him out quite nicely there by using those 4 Hellions.
Indeed, and the thing is, I'm looking at the vision of him, he didn't scout the starport switch or anything like that, so that's going to be interesting because it looks like both players might go for some starport play here, and we have Hack going for the Viking, and it looks like a Viking from NEXIceCream too. That's really interesting.
This is actually screwing with my head, I've got to say, with the amount of swapperoos we've got going on right here. That's a transition into tank, Marine, and of course Viking, which is what you would expect at this stage, but he opened up with the Hellions, and as he just doesn't seem happy. He's fidgety. He wants to change those add-ons around as many times as possible. He's looking for an opportunity right there. Oh, wow. The Viking from Hack right there guns down one with great vengeance and furious anger as it drives past the cliff face.
Indeed, and it looks like both players are going to go for a Viking. Will he decide? No, he's going for another Viking. IceCream with a tech lab on the starport, going for 2 Vikings. We'll have to see how that does develop once again. Really confusing. And now we do have Hack with 2 Vikings at the moment too. And if he can get a snipe on the Viking before the second one comes out, that is going to be huge because he's going to have the lead of the Vikings straight away.
Yep, getting air superiority is something he needs to consider of vital importance, and that second Viking, however, will come out in time. He's able to gain some reasonable scouting information in the process. He knows pretty much what his opponent's doing, which of course is Marine Tank Viking, which is completely and totally standard in every possible respect. And, you know, kind of disappointed to see that all of that nonsense of the swapping around actually turned out to be Marine Tank Viking. I was hoping for something crazy after that, but hey, you know, it makes perfect sense. And there's the revenge from Hack, able to pick up another Viking kill. And air superiority is really up in the air right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite equal still. It looks like we're going to see a push out while expanding from Hack here. 2 siege tanks, both with siege mode. Let's have a look over in IceCream's base. Does also have siege mode. And quite equal units at the moment too. Going to really come down to where these Hack siege tanks are.
Yes, and he gets the deployment right now, and actually IceCream doesn't see that. Wow, nasty play right there. And Hack now with a great bit of momentum. Wants to take another tank, he's able to do so. Can he finish it off? He can't, not quite yet, but of course the tanks will be able to do so if they can catch it. And that's a nice cleanup in the middle there by Hack.
Wow, that was really nice. Big lead too, especially while getting your command center. You're going to be far ahead. Vikings are doing a lot of damage, but still being consistently pumped out. This reminds me so much of like Terran vs. Terran in the early stages of the beta, when it was all about tank Viking wars. And this is crazy, so we'll have to see. The thing is, IceCream does not have an expansion, which is really going to hurt him. And he's trying to move some SCVs now to help repair the Vikings, but has lost the middle of the map, which is ever so important in TVT. Supply depot is down.
Yes, it is. That's a freebie, and that's his favorite kind of supply depot, no doubt. And right now, Hack deciding to pull back. Really, he doesn't actually have any support in the middle. I should point out that in that engagement, it was mutually assured destruction for pretty much everyone, with the exception of those 2 tanks. So, really, he can't leave siege tanks lying around in the middle of the map without any support. It's not a good idea. He takes a free supply depot, so you can commend him for that one, but he decides now's the time to pull back. And IceCream finally following up the expansion, but very late in comparison to his opponent.
And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody took the edge of the sword really and decided to go for the medivacs and kind of do a doom drop, you could say. But it's all going to be about the Viking count, because if you don't have the Viking count, you obviously can't do the medivac drop.
Yep.
So both players are just kind of not really wanting to go for that, and I'm just going to continue with the Vikings and not really drop the lead. And we are going to be seeing the expansion finally from IceCream, only at 50% though, is going down, and it's given Hack quite a big lead. SCVs are going to pump out a lot further, and he's also going to have the higher gas count as he's going for that 3rd refinery now, and we'll be able to continue with the siege tank production. Siege tanks are in great position, by the way, from Hack. I really like that on the edge.
Yeah, it's good. It's very, very good. Here come the Vikings right now to have a look and see what they can see, but there are more Vikings coming out right there for Hack as well. And that cliff face is nicely covered, but we have a bit of a standoff for the time being between these two. Neither can really risk an attack on the other. The army counts are fairly equal, slightly in favor of Hack, and the Viking counts are equal as well. So, what are you going to do? Not an awful lot.
Yeah, both players don't really want to move down to the natural or from there, even the middle of the map, because it's so close by air that you can just drop and then consistently just lose everything in your main base.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why we have so many siege tanks and Vikings still floating around the main base. And it's really good that Hack does have control of the middle Zelnoga tower though. And IceCream quite dark really, doesn't even see the expansion, has no idea about the timing of it or anything.
Absolutely. He lacks scouting information, and that's never a good thing under any circumstance, unless you're trying to be willfully ignorant of what your opponent has. Perhaps you're scared and you think, well, if I stick my head in the sand, maybe they'll go away. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen, especially not on TVT. They just lurk. Yes, they deploy on the top of the cliff face and they wait. They are patient. You can see that Hack has a significant army supply advantage right now, however, and he might be able to do something with it.
And now we actually do have the Viking lead. It's kind of equal, actually. It's a little bit in favor of IceCream, and the reason for that, Hack's actually decided to build a medivac to help out his marines and so on. And it's such a close game still, but 10 supply lead is in favor of Hack here. Just has a few more units more, and has added on that second factory. And it looks like +1 is going to could be the difference in this game.
It's going to have to be quite
upgrade,
the difference.
Yeah, for NEXIceCream.
Yeah, it's going to have to be quite the difference considering the Marine count is so heavily in favor of Hack right now. But I suppose against that line of siege tanks, that's going to make no difference at all.
It's really toe-to-toe at the moment, as you keep saying. And now we do have Stim finishing up finally for Hack. And he is moving into the middle of the map as Stim finishes now. And might try to get a contain out, though. But, you know, the problem is you can contain. But like I said, you just have to be so careful about drops in the back of your base that completely turn the game around.
Yeah, especially since NEXIceCream now actually has air superiority, sitting on 8 Vikings versus 6, so that's problematic. This is a curious move by Hack right here, I believe looking to actually batter his way through those back rocks and attack the natural from the flank. Yeah,
that's actually a great position to be in, especially because NEXIceCream has no idea about that. He lost map vision, and that's what you should do to capitalize on that. When you have map vision, you know your opponent can't see anything. You can siege up. You don't even have to kill the rocks. You can siege from the top. You're going to have to force Viking encounters, force scans. You're going to deny the third base while your third base is going up. And you can even kill the rocks eventually and then slowly crawl your way down.
That's a problem, and NEXIceCream has surely realized it right now, seeing the explosions on his vision right here. With a quick bit of Viking engagement from NEXIceCream over to the side of that base doesn't make too much of a difference, because now Hack has a mass deployment, and that command center is going to go down. It's a cancel, ladies and gentlemen, and this has now changed things very significantly. NEXIceCream now supply block just to make things even worse.
And he does have the Viking count though, so it's definitely going to help out into getting rid of this position. You know, that engagement we kind of missed, but you called it still. He lost all his Vikings. Hack lost all his Vikings, and it's totally in favor of NEXIceCream now. It looks like he's going to try and cut off this force. This could be game-winning right here.
It could be. This is going to be one way or the other. And NEXIceCream with a massive advantage right here in terms of the number of Marines he's got. And you'll see that on the count, they are both pretty much equal. But NEXIceCream actually has more in the field against that force. NEXHack has undeployed those tanks, and NEXIceCream pulling back once again. This is very, very tense right here.
Oh, wow. Hack completely out of position. Now, losing them Vikings lost him so much. Lost every stepping in the game. Even though Hack has the supply lead, NEXIceCream has the momentum right now. And he's got to be careful with this. He could so trap all these tanks if he went for it. But he's actually going to go back. And Hack, will he be able to split? Well, he will. He's already split. Will he be able to get back together? Zalnoga Tower is with NEXIceCream. And why did... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, why does he have 2 sensor towers?
I actually don't know why he has 2 sensor towers. But you need one spare just in case one of them falls over.
Yeah,
those things are very fragile.
It's like this little inch of the top screen really needed to cover that. So.
Yes, that is kind of curious. Whatever the case, we don't question the ways of the Koreans, folks. That's a terrible idea. Obviously, supply count is in favor of Hack right now, as is, of course, his economic situation. Since Hack was able to deny that third, Hack is now sitting on a third of his own, but he's not actually mining from it just yet, so he needs to get a transfer right there. And, of course, looking to batter his way through those rocks, which he didn't quite think through. He can drop a few mules in, but nonetheless, NEXIceCream looking to take control of the map. And NEXIceCream actually is lagging so far behind in terms of tanks, it's not even funny. There are 16, and Hack gets a deployment off first. And there's the shelling on the initial Vanguard right there. Now, NEXIceCream does have a visibility advantage, certainly, but there's plenty of scans coming in, and that initial spearhead of tanks has been battered there by Hack. Free medevac kill for NEXIceCream, but still, this is an intense standoff.
Yeah, indeed. I think that NEXIceCream's just waiting for +1 armor to finish, and then he might try to run in if he can find an opening. But the siege tank spread is awesome by Hack.
So many.
Yeah.
Even with +1 armor, that's just going to be incredibly dangerous. I mean, +1 isn't going to take a huge amount off that big shelling. It's not pleasant at all. Now, those Vikings, of course, give NEXIceCream a fantastic view of the battlefield, and also he now knows exactly where his opponent's deployment is, and he's looking to flank it.
Indeed, but like you said, the siege tank line is so big, it just extends all the way down. There's no really holes that NEXIceCream can poke in.
With his big siege tank line, yes.
No
holes at all. And NEXIceCream now pushing forward, looking for a flanking maneuver. Does he have the +1? He does. This is going to make the difference in this particular engagement. And here's the deployment at the back. And the initial wave has actually taken a lot of damage. A Marine-on-Marine action as NEXIceCream takes serious punishment.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering why Hack has forgot to get the combat shields. Be it this was played, you know, like an hour ago, half an hour ago, and that's very late in career. So maybe both players were a little bit tired here, but missing combat shield and falling behind in upgrades means no marine fight.
And now he's forced to pull back once again. There's a quick stim and the cleanup right here as IceCream got in for a brutal counterattack. He's able to catch his opponent before the deployment comes in. Big damage coming down. He takes down one, but unfortunately he loses his right flank. However, does he have enough on the left? He might actually have enough to do this. What a counterattack by IceCream.
The siege tank line is good, but I don't think it's good enough. The mobility of this army from IceCream could be potentially game-winning. It could still go either way, but one final engagement from IceCream could most definitely secure this. Siege tanks are split up.
They've undeployed. That is critical right here. IceCream looking potentially for the game-winning push, looking for the surround. Those tanks are undeployed. That is not where you want to be. 1 down, 2 down. Here comes the push. And what can Hack do to respond to that? The final deployment, the SCV's pulled off the line in a desperate attempt to hold this kind of aggression from Hack right here. It's not going to happen. GG, ladies and gentlemen. IceCream takes it. 3-2 in this best of 5 series. Oh why, Hack.
$100 winner.
There you go, folks. IceCream, very, very hard fought, and of course, very well deserved right there. AKA won, but still, he's IceCream as far as I'm concerned.
And I think the critical mistakes there from Hack, forgetting combat shield, falling behind in upgrades, and obviously losing that huge Viking fight on the right-hand side. And unfortunately, that kicked him out of the game. So congratulations to IceCream. You are the TL Open 17 winner. You walk away with $100.
And of course, plenty of points towards the $1,000 tournament. So that's what you're looking for, folks. And the Koreans, they're stealing all our prize monies, as well as White Mountain. But there you go. It's to be expected, folks. You can't deal with the Koreans.
And
terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, a great set of games from Xenix throughout the entire tournament. Congratulations to you guys. Thank you for joining. And hopefully see some more Korean teams participating in future TL Opens.
I certainly hope so, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been TotalBiscuit, here with the one and only
The Apollo.
And thank you to our sponsors, TeamSpeak 3, as well as Team Liquid, for organising this fantastic tournament. Thank you to the Wizard, Hotbid, and the Sorcerer, Rich, of course. Dark arts going on right here on the other end of the stream. So thank you to them. They've done a fantastic job, as always. And thanks to all the players for today's tournament. And last but by no means least, thanks to you guys for once again supporting esports and hopefully enjoying yourself this evening. We have been TotalBiscuit and The Apollo. This has been the TL Open number 17. And we will see you next time.